Welcome to FCPS All-Stars. We have with us today Melinda Machande, who's a social studies teacher at Oakdale High School. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much.
So what we're here today to do is to find out a little bit more about the real you away from work and kind of what drives you to be the best that you can be. What would someone who's meeting you for the first time find very surprising about you?
I think that the thing that people will be most surprised about is that I've traveled extensively around the world, and I've been to about 27 different countries at this point.
27 different countries?
That's right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna have to borrow from David Letterman and ask for Melinda's top 10 countries to travel, starting with number 10.
I think it's really hard to narrow it down because I've done it at different points in my life and different experiences each time between living there, studying there, and just traveling. But I would have to say Australia would be 10, 9 would be Guatemala, 8 France, 7 Indonesia, 6 Costa Rica, 5 Switzerland, 4, ooh, it's getting tough now, Ireland, 3, Vietnam, 2, Laos,
and number 1 is, drum roll,
Cambodia.
Cambodia, that's surprising to me. What makes Cambodia the best out of all the countries you've been to?
I'm a person that likes to go off the beaten path, so I like a country that's exciting, that there's adventure involved, that you're never quite sure what you're getting into when you're there. So I don't know the language, I don't know exactly what I'm eating all the time. I love the people in Cambodia. They're probably the most open, honest, giving people I've ever met in the face of adversity and poverty, and it's got amazing history.
Fantastic. So everyone remember that top 10 list when you're choosing your places to travel for vacation. Now, Melinda, I know that you teach and that's what you do, but what is it that really drives you and makes you who you are?
I think that I've really found myself through running. And that started off a long time ago. I ran my first 5K race, I think, in 1998. And although I think I'm not a fast runner, I'm a dedicated runner, and I love to leave my troubles out on the road, on the trail. I love to run with my friends. I love to challenge myself through running, and I think it's the place where I'm happiest.
Okay. What types of races do you run in?
I've run in everything from 5K races to marathons, and I've even competed in some triathlons.
Really? I understand that you ran in a pretty big marathon about a year ago.
I ran in the biggest marathon in history, which was the New York City Marathon last year, and it was just about 50,000 runners, I think, and it was an amazing day. It took me 4 years to get in because it's a lottery system.
Wow.
And when I finally got in, I just felt really, really ready. The training went well. I had lots of people that trained with me, and the day was spectacular. It was everything that I wanted it to be. My husband was there and several friends were there, and so I got to see them along the trail, or along the path, along the course. I just felt good. I felt happy. I took selfies along the way. It wasn't about my time that day, it was all about the experience of it, and it was really, really wonderful. And I felt like I was in the best shape of my life.
So it was all about the journey.
It was.
And how would you say that marathon prepared you for other aspects of your life?
Well, it's funny because about 6 months later, I was diagnosed with cancer for the second time. And I think going into that battle with cancer, this current battle with cancer, I felt like my body was strong, my mind was strong, and that helped with, you know, getting through the toughest and darkest times of a battle with cancer.
So when you're running, what do you think about?
It depends on where I am and who I'm with. But some days it's about, if you've had a bad day, running through the bad day and getting all of the negativity out of your head. Sometimes it's about being joyful, and it's about seeing other people running and being with your friends and feeling a healthy body that you have to run with. And some days it's about, I like to run on the trails in the woods, and sometimes it's about solitude and just being with the beauty of nature.
So it sounds like the marathon and the running prepared you mentally and physically for your life's obstacles.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is an amazing story. I have a hard time imagining running around the block sometimes, so kudos to you for being able to run a marathon. That's fantastic. So, you seem like a woman that really has a purpose and a drive. And in spite of everything that you've been through, what do you have planned next? Like, what's going to happen to you next in your life?
Well, there's only one continent that I haven't been to, and that's Africa. So I'm definitely going to make it to Africa.
Okay.
And I'm planning my comeback race. I just finished up with the worst of the worst chemo that I'm going through. I'm going to continue with chemo for a while. But I'm ready to get myself back into shape physically, and I'm training for a half marathon, the Frederick Half, in May, beginning of May. So that's where I'm headed next.
Thanks for taking the time to share your story with FCPS All-Stars.
And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And thank you for joining us. Stay tuned for our next episode and shine on.